We have a Toro Time Cutter. It's like 4 years old, I believe. I started it up to mow the yard. Ran for about 3 minutes. I was fixing to get on it and it died, and it hasn't come back to life one single time. My feeling is it's electrical in nature, will not crank, will not do anything. So I went to the Toro website and printed off the wiring schematic, the diagnosis for, there's 3 safety switches. One is the seat switch, and then we have our neutral lock switch. How to test both of those. Basically, I need to know whether they're normally open or closed. My ignition switch, here's my pin out, and what should be working and what shouldn't be working off the switch. There's the entire wiring harness right there. You can find them all on their website. There's the neutral safeties. If I can just get the ignition to come on, I could just jump the solenoid if that's the problem. I did check both of these fuses. I'm going to use a test light and an ohm meter. The seat switch, and when you look at the wiring diagram, so we go from our battery, one's going to ground, the next one goes to the start of solenoid, and so the hot to there, then to the main fuse, then it comes up to the key switch, okay? But your power on terminal 4, which is right there, gets off the seat switch. So my thinking is the seat switch, I can't say that, I'm sorry. My guess is that's defective. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So you raise the seat up. Okay, so we have power going to the solenoid. We have no power going to the seat switch. Check my meter. Well, guess that works, doesn't it? I put my knee in where you sit. Take my knee out, it's dead, so it's not that switch. It could be the neutral safety, but I'm gonna have to take that cowling off to get to those switches. All right, so it gives us a conductivity check for the switch on each of those terminals, but before we're going to pin it out, we should have battery voltage on number 3 pin, which we do not. No battery voltage number 3 pin. Actually, we don't have voltage on any of them. So number 3, three's right there. Nothing. We're not getting power to here. Well, that's why the ignitions don't work. So we have no power at pin 3 going to the ignition switch. That wire goes to that fuse, the back side of that fuse. Both fuses are good. And they're getting their power off battery, solenoid off. Okay. Recheck these fuses. And 3, if you want to know how to check a fuse, on the back side of every fuse there's 2 little metal contacts. I should have power on both of these, which I do not. See that? Nothing. Other fuse, nothing. Nothing. So now we don't have power coming to the fuses either. This is what I know. We have nothing there, nothing there. We have two fuses. We should have 15 amp fuse and a 25 amp fuse. And they should be getting their power off B2 off the starter solenoid right there. So we should have power coming into this fuse right here. And after the fuse, it should go to the next fuse, the system fuse. But the main fuse says 25 amp. That's only a 20 amp. But we've got nothing there. And we got nothing on this fuse. Nothing there. Nothing there. So that brings us back to B2 off the starter solenoid right there. So we're going to check this wire out. We're taking this wire. We're going to cut this wire and redo it, I think. I thought I back probed this and I thought I got, see? There we go, right there. See that, guys? I think I found the problem. I think we just found the problem. We're going to cut that wire and redo that. We need to disconnect the battery cable here. See why schematics are so important? I hate to cut it here because I'm afraid the wire is not going to be long enough. Alright, we gotta go find us. Have to make a jumper somehow. Alright, that's what we're going to try and go with. I'm trying not to splice another wire into it, so we're probably going to have to bend it a little bit. If we could get some more slack, I would be more happy with this outcome. A little bit more slack. Come on, give me some slack. We have a wiring harness within a wiring harness. That's a lot better. Now I got to go wash my hands because that was nasty. You know what, guys, for $120 I can buy a new wiring harness for this thing and just rewire the whole thing. Sort of like the Model A, that's what I need to do. Trying to get as much meat as I can get for this. Alright, we want it to go like that, so we're going to put this turn the right way. blue dot. Crimp it twice. What the hell? Let's go third time. Oh. I didn't take the... Alright, now we got power there. Got power there. System fuse. We got power on both sides. Still nothing. Oh, we have this disconnected, don't we? Let's try this again. All right, there's hot. All right, we're gonna mow the yard. Choke on. All right, mission complete. Time to mow the yard. Took 3 days directly from Toro's website. That's what I'm at. Man, those are some nice bags. I might have to keep those. I guarantee you the ignition switch that's on this mower is not the original, because this one that's on there does not look like this one. Wonder what the key looks like. So we also got us $20 for an oil filter. So that's the key that's on it, and I just don't feel like it doesn't say Toro. I don't know, but when you would start it, you've got to come back with it to on, or else it wants to keep the starter going. Here it is with the key attached. See the way that springs back? The one that's on there now doesn't. You manually have to turn it from start to. So all you do is press it in, but we'll get that put in just a second. Here's the old one. And I do not think this is original. I think it's been replaced before I got it. There you go. So there you go, guys. Pretty straightforward. Just line it up. The other thing, this key is going to help keep water out of there.